Hi, I'm Sharon Bill. Welcome to my Theory Tuition series where we're working together through each of the ABRSM theory grades. There are lots of resources available to help you on my website. If you visit sharonbill.com, you'll find some free PDF information sheets and you can download these in US letter or A4 to accompany each step of this series to help you. You'll find a page there with links to all of my YouTube video tutorials, and you can also find out about the books that I have available. I've written an exam technique guide how to take your ABRSM music theory exam. It's full of tips and hints on how to best prepare for your exam and also how to make the best use of your time on exam day when you're actually working through your exam paper. So if you visit sharonbill.com, you'll find it's all there. If you can give me a like, that would be really fab, and please do subscribe to my channel to keep updated. And now we're going to make a start on paper A of the grade 1 2018 practice papers. So we get the first proper look of the newly revised exam, and this was the first time that the exam was set for the newly revised paper in 2018. This was the first exam session, and so we'll start with paper A, question 1. So question 1 asks us to add the time signatures to each of these three examples. I always suggest that you have a go of this on your own. It doesn't matter if you've gone wrong. It's always better to learn by your mistakes. And always write in pencil. I use a mechanical pencil just so it stays nice and sharp, and you will need an eraser to hand and also a ruler just to keep things neat and tidy. So I'm hoping you've had a go of this yourself, and now we're going to look at this together. And so let's have a look at question 1A. So the time signatures, we're always going to be counting in crotchet beats or quarter notes, and the number that we choose to show that is we put a number 4 at the bottom, quarter notes or crotchet beats. And you can see why that is, because if you look here we can see that we've divided into quarters and they are crotchets, and that's why the bottom number is 4. So whatever adds up to the total number of crotchet beats. So here this is one crotchet beat, one quarter note, with half as much again. So 1.5 beats there. The dot makes it half as much again longer. We have a quaver or an eighth note here, which is half of a crotchet, so that's half of a beat. And then we have a crotchet or a quarter note, that's 1 beat. So altogether we have 1, 2, 3 beats. Here we have 2 halves of a beat, which give us 1, and then this minim or this half note is worth 2 beats. So 1, 2, 3. So we can see our time signature is 3/4. Let's have a look at the next one. So again, we are counting in crotchet beats or quarter notes. Now we know if I just diagram this out, one crotchet, one quarter note divides into 2 quavers, 2 eighth notes, and if we divide again, we can see that that makes 4 semiquavers, 4 16th notes. So we know that these 4 add up to 1 beat, quarter, 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 quarter. You can also see that mathematically here, if you just sort of divide into quarters there, we can see there's a full beat. And also we know because they are grouped in crotchet beats, so there's one crotchet beat, one quarter note beat, there's another one there, half plus half gives us 1 beat, and then here's another beat, and then here's another beat. 1, 2, 3, 4. Here, let's double check that. 1 beat there from these 4 16th notes, 4 semiquavers. 2 halves gives us a beat, and then we've got a minim which is worth 2 beats there. 1, 2, 3, 4. So we could say 4/4, or also you could say common time. That's the symbol for 4/4 common time. Let's look at this next one. So again, we're counting in crotchet beats or quarter note beats, so we need to find how many beats add up to that. So we have a half a beat here and a half a beat here. That gives us 1 beat. A half a beat and a half a beat. That gives us a beat. So we have 2 beats there. So our time signature is 2/4. Let's double check that. Now here we have half a beat, and then the dot makes it half as long again. And so if we just visualise that, there's one beat. Let's divide it into quarters. So we have a half a beat there. There's our quaver, our eighth note. And then the dot makes it half as long again. So that gives us an extra quarter of a beat. So we have 3/4 of a beat there. And then a semiquaver is worth a quarter of a crotchet, a quarter of a quarter note. That sounds confusing. So there. So 3/4 and a quarter gives us one beat. So there's one beat, there's one beat. So 2/4 adds up correctly there. So that's that question completed. Let's look at the next part. So now we're given the time signature, but we need to add the missing bar lines. They've given us the first one. So this is a 2-beat note, a minim or a half note. The dot makes it half as long again, so we plus 1. Half of 2 is 1. So that gives us 3 beats. And then we have 2 quavers, 2 eighth notes, half a beat each. There's 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So here we have 1 beat. The dot is half as much again, so half of 1 is a half. We have another half here with this quaver, this eighth note. So far this gives us 2 beats. 2 quavers, half plus half gives us 1. There's 3 beats. And then here we have a crotchet beat, a quarter note. There's our 4th beat, so that's our first bar line. So here we go again. We can see we've got another 1.5 beats there because of the dot. Now a quarter plus a quarter beat of a beat added together gives us a half, and we already know that we divide one quaver, 1/8 note into 2 semiquavers, 2 16th notes. So we know that 2 16th notes gives us half a beat, quarter of a beat, quarter of a beat equals half. So far we've got 2. There's a beat, 3, 4, there's our bar line. And then 1, 2, 3 with the dot, plus 1 makes 4. So we're all right towards the end. So that's that question completed. Let's look at the next question. So question 2 now asks us to add a rest at the places marked with a little star. So we should have 2 beats in a bar. We've got 1 beat here. Now we know, we've just worked out that 1 crotchet beat divides into 2 quavers or 2 eighth notes, which divides again into 4 semiquavers or 4 16th notes. We only have 3 here, so we can see that we're 1 beat missing, 1 semiquaver beat missing to complete this group of 4, and so we know that that's a semiquaver rest, a 16th note rest. So there we can see we have our 4/4 of a beat, which gives us 1. There's 1, so that's completed. Now the last bar, we should have 2 beats in a bar. However, if you remember, a complete bar's silence is shown by a semibreve or a whole note rest just hanging. So although that's technically too big for the bar, we always use a whole note or a semibreve rest to show a complete bar's rest regardless of the time signature. If you'd done a minim or a half note rest, that wouldn't quite afford full marks, because we need to show a full bar's rest there. These are quite easily confused, and so I always remember that the 4-beat rest, the whole note semibreve rest, hangs from the 4th line. So there's your little clue to remember that. Let's look at this next one. So we should have 4 beats in a bar. Let's see what we've got here. We've got 1 beat here, 1 beat here. 2 halves of a beat gives us a full beat. Quaver, quaver equals crotchet. 8, 8 gives us a quarter note. So we have 1, 2, 3. We have half a beat here with this quaver, this 8th note. So far we've got 3.5 beats. There should be 4. So we need another half a beat, and that's the rest. That's our quaver or 8th note rest there. Let's see what we have here. So we've got 1 beat here. We've got 1.5 with the dot, half as much again, and half a beat here. So 1.5 plus half gives us 2. 3, we should have 4 beats, so we want a 1 beat rest, a crotchet or a quarter note rest. There we go. So now the last bar, we only have 2 beats here, we've got 2 beats missing, and so we need this minim beat rest. Now we need to be careful where we add these minim beat, these half note rests, and in a bar of 4/4, if you remember, we can only add that so long as it doesn't go over the middle part of the bar. We can't have it straddling over the middle. We need to see clearly each half of the bar, and that's okay here. We're not over the middle. We've got 2 beats here, 2 beats here. It's exactly splitting the bar in half, and so that's acceptable. So that would be the answer for that. So that question completed. We'll look at the next questions in the next video. I do hope this is helpful to you. I hope it's helping you with your studies and helping you to get to grips with the topic and the information for grade 1. These past papers, these practice papers, are an excellent revision resource. They really do help you to get to grips with your topic. If it's helped you, if you can give me a like, that would be really super, and please do subscribe to my channel to keep updated. There's lots more to come, and please do go to sharonbill.com and have a look at all of the resource and information that's there to help you. Thanks for watching. See you next time. Bye.